You ever have one of those Fridays where the energy in the air feels electric, like something big is about to drop? That's exactly the vibe heading into this week's Friday Night SmackDown, when WWE teased a mystery opponent for LA Knight in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Fans across the country were buzzing, guessing, debating, and refreshing their feeds like crazy. WWE didn't give a single hint. No silhouette, no promo, nothing. Just pure suspense. And if there's one thing the WWE Universe loves, it's a well-played surprise. So tonight, we're breaking down everything that led up to that moment, how the mystery built so much momentum, and why this surprise return hit the wrestling world like a shockwave. Buckle up, because this is one of those stories where the anticipation was just as exciting as the reveal itself. The setup started earlier in the night when SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis announced the match lineup for the Last Time Is Now tournament, honoring the legendary run of John Cena. The twist came when Aldis pulled out one final name, but refused to show it, smirking as he told the WWE Universe they'd have to find out live. It was classic WWE misdirection. Simple, bold, and instantly effective. Online discussions exploded. Some fans predicted a returning veteran, others expected a rising NXT star, and some even thought it might be a major free agent. The strategy worked perfectly, building massive curiosity without giving away the payoff. And when WWE keeps things airtight like that, you know something special is coming. Meanwhile, LA Knight walked into the situation with full confidence, as he usually does. Whether he's cutting a promo or stepping into the ring, Knight carries himself like a man who sees every match as another chance to prove why he's become one of the fastest rising stars in the company. What made the moment more intense was seeing him prepare for an opponent he knew nothing about. No style to study, no footage to review, no advantage to lean on. For viewers, that created a rare feeling of unpredictability. In today's era of wrestling, where leaks and spoilers often spill early, this kind of genuine mystery is almost unheard of. Fans were ready. Knight was ready, and all that was left was the reveal. When the moment finally came, the arena lights shifted, the crowd leaned in, and that familiar theme music hit, a theme no one expected to hear on SmackDown again. Out walked Matt Cardona, returning under his classic WWE name, Zack Ryder. The audience erupted in shock and nostalgia. It was the kind of return that instantly taps into a decade of memories. Ryder's comeback wasn't just a pop, it was a statement. After years of reinvention, building himself up outside WWE and proving his value around the world, this moment felt like a full-circle homecoming. The reaction was loud, emotional, and completely earned. Cardona stepping back onto a WWE stage brought a wave of excitement. Many fans who had followed his journey knew how much work he had put into evolving his persona beyond his original run. Seeing him step into a tournament match, rather than just making a surprise appearance, signaled that he wasn't returning for nostalgia. He was returning to compete. His presence added legitimacy and unpredictability to the bracket. Suddenly, the match wasn't just another tournament bout. It was a collision between two super confident performers, each with momentum and something to prove. And in a tournament honoring John Cena's legacy, bringing back someone tied to that era made the moment even more meaningful. The bell rang, and the energy inside the arena shifted instantly. LA Knight and Ryder stared each other down, creating that classic big fight tension. The early moments of the match focused on testing each other's timing and pace. Ryder showcased the veteran experience he'd gained over the years, while Knight leaned into the explosive, crowd-charged style that's made him a fan favorite. It wasn't a squash, and it wasn't a slow burn. It was the competitive, balanced matchup fans were hoping for. Knight's reactions, Ryder's timing, and the crowd's non-stop chants turned the match into one of the highlights of the night. As the match picked up speed, both competitors pushed the intensity higher. Ryder brought back several of his signature moves, reminding the WWE Universe why his earlier run generated such a passionate fan base. At the same time, Knight stayed sharp, constantly adjusting to the surprise challenge. The chemistry between the two was undeniable. There were near falls, momentum swings, and moments that made the audience stand up in disbelief. Even without a long build-up, or weeks of promos. The match felt like it belonged on a major card. That's the power of good in-ring storytelling. When two pros know how to connect with a crowd instantly. Eventually, the match reached its final stretch. Ryder looked strong, showing the grit and resilience that defined so much of his career. But LA Knight, fueled by his ongoing rise and his connection with the WWE Universe, found his rhythm at the perfect moment. He capitalized on a narrow opening and landed the decisive move to secure the win. The crowd reaction was massive. Not because Ryder lost, but because the match delivered on every level of anticipation. Knight's victory meant he advanced in the tournament, but the real story was the surprise return that shook up the entire bracket. It was sports entertainment at its best. Unpredictable, emotional, and unforgettable. After the match, the energy in the arena didn't drop for a second. Fans cheered both men as Ryder stood up, taking in the moment of his WWE return. Meanwhile, Knight celebrated the win, but also showed clear respect for the challenge he had just overcome. This wasn't about burying a returning star or forcing a one-sided story. Instead, it felt like WWE sending a message. The tournament